What's up guys, Only here with a new series on minion wave management and wave control. This first video will cover the two rules that govern all minion movement and will be the foundation on which all subsequent videos are built upon. In order to dive deep into this topic, a baseline level of knowledge must be known, so we will quickly go over the basics and terminology to catch those who need it up to speed. Minion waves spawn every 30 seconds, with every third minion wave that spawns having a cannon minion added to it. Minion waves mirror each other, so if your incoming minion wave is at your second tower, your opponent's incoming minion wave is at his second tower. Now there are a few other terms that you're probably going to need to know, and they're going to be referred to a lot throughout the video. Those are going to be the even minion wave, and now even refers just to the number of creeps on each side being the same in terms of both health and number of minions. And there's also reinforcement wave, which is basically the next incoming creep wave, the creep wave that will reinforce your current embattled minion wave. So like you have creeps that are fighting, it's going to be the next wave coming. There are only two types of creep waves. There are waves that are even and there are waves that are uneven in favor of one side or the other. Each type, even and uneven minion waves, have their own specific rule that they follow. The first is the even minion rule, which is the easier of the two to explain and understand. The even minion rule states that whenever there is an even minion wave, whatever side of the map it's on will push to the opposing side. Picture the first wave of the game in top lane. Right when the minions start fighting each other, draw a line right between each team's melee minions. That is the middle or halfway point of the lane. So any even wave on the red side of the lane will push towards the blue, while any even wave on the blue side of the lane will push towards the red. Now you might be wondering how one wave can push against another when there are even waves containing the same number of minions. This is where reinforcements come into play. Now we learned earlier that minion waves mirror each other, so both reinforcement waves will be at the same place on the map at the same time, just on opposite sides. But things have changed now. We are no longer meeting in the middle of the lane, and now we are meeting closer to one team's reinforcements. The even wave being on one side allows that side's reinforcements to get there, helping the first wave kill off the enemy creeps first. Some of that initial force will survive and will continue fighting with the next wave. This will lead to an uneven minion wave that will begin pushing and won't be stopped until met by a champion or a tower. Now that we understand the basics of the even minion rule and the reason behind it being reinforcements, we can draw even more conclusions. Due to travel time distance of reinforcements, the farther away from the halfway line the creep wave meets, the faster the wave will push to the opposing side. This is pretty straightforward. The farther away from the halfway line, the shorter distance reinforcements have to travel for one team, while the other team's travel distance drastically increases. Inversely, the closer to the halfway point the minion wave meets, the slower the push will be for either side because the reinforcement travel time difference is so small. You should now be able to identify which way an even minion wave will push. This is a glimpse into a few minutes into the future and will allow you to play off of what the minion wave is giving you. This even minion rule opens up a ton of opportunities to abuse and gain advantages, which range from setting up freezes, to denying ganks, to zoning and denying the enemy precious minions, and even setting up a plan multiple minutes in the future. In future videos we will dive even more into the even minion rule and discuss ways to abuse and take advantage of this knowledge. The second rule is far less important in terms of in-game use. The main ways we will be abusing wave control relies mostly on the even minion rule, which is great because it is far easier to use and abuse. The uneven minion rule deals with the equilibrium points where faster reinforcement time for one side beats out a bigger minion wave from the opposing side. When a wave is pushing, it is doing so because there are more minions dealing more damage and having more health, so they kill the opposing wave faster. A few minions from this victorious wave will survive and be joined by the reinforcement wave, leading to an even bigger wave that does even more damage and repeats the whole process again until the big wave finally pushes and reaches an enemy, champion, or an enemy tower. The reinforcement time disadvantage gets bigger the further the wave pushes past the halfway line, requiring an increasingly greater number of minion advantage to continue pushing into enemy territory. The magic number here is 4. A 4 minion wave advantage at any point in the lane will always signal a wave that will continue pushing until stopped by a champion or a tower. This is the key equilibrium point to remember from the uneven minion rule, because it is vital for maintaining an endless freeze outside of your tower. Okay, that knocks out all the waves of the 4+ minion advantage, but what about waves with smaller advantages? The smaller the minion advantage is, the smaller the reinforcement disadvantage has to be for the wave to continue pushing. So that means if your wave only has a 1 minion advantage, it needs to be really close to the middle of the lane, or on your side of the lane, or the enemy's faster reinforcement time will make his wave push instead of yours. Don't worry, I already found all the exact points for what the minion advantage must be to continue pushing, and I made it into a nice picture with my amazing Photoshop skills from 2 years ago. Like I said before, the uneven minion rule isn't that important outside of the theory behind it and understanding a few key equilibrium points to commit to memory that can be abused later on. The even minion rule, however, will be consistently referred to in future videos, so make sure you fully understand it before moving on. Hope you guys enjoyed this first video of what I hope to be a long-running series on my favorite topic, minion wave management. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!